Hello, this is Sam Ballard, IT Specialist for the Teaching and Learning Center. Today, we're going to discuss the Site Statistics tool and some of the features and functions that are available for our instructors to use. The Site Statistics tool is a default tool in any Sakai course. You can find it on the left-hand tool menu under the label Site Statistics. The first screen you'll be presented with is the overview screen that we see here. Now this will give broad metrics of how our site is being used by our users. Before continuing, it's important to point out that the Site Statistics tool doesn't give a full story of how the student is using the site. However, it is very useful for finding certain data that will help us to gain insight into our instruction and also identify students that may be struggling a little bit or may need a little bit of help proactively prior to them not getting a great grade. We have many different options, and we also have the ability to drill down as far into the data as we want to. This overview screen does give us some quick at-a-glance metrics that we can already start using to determine how well our site is doing. The site that I chose for this presentation is a course from spring 2011, and we see that it was visited 2,673 times. We also can see how many members have visited the site and the members that have not visited the site. Any of these metrics can be drilled down. For example, if we want to find out who has not visited the site, we simply need to click on this label and we see that the Sakai administrator is slacking. Heading back, we can drill down into any of these. We have visits to the site, and remember this is from spring 2011, so our graph is going to be stretched out quite a bit. If you're viewing your course for this semester, it's going to look a lot prettier. We also have the ability to show more and even further drill into how we want to present our data. Now, as this is a previous site, we don't have as many options. However, we can select since site creation, and we will see our most active months here. We'll see our visits, and then the blue that's very hard to see is our unique visitors. There are only 26 site members, so obviously this bar, the blue bar, is going to be much smaller than our actual visits bar, which is a good thing. That means that our visitors and our users are actually utilizing the site often and frequently. To find those users that may not be visiting the site or may not be visiting the site very often, we do have the ability to drill in and sort our list here. So we see, if I show more users, that some of our users, such as myself, may need to be reached out to and asked, if everything's going okay and maybe help them along, while the ones at the top of the list probably already have it figured out. We also can view our activity. Now, activity are the events that occur when a user interacts with any of the other tools within the site. We have the ability to drill down by date here, and roles. Generally, we're going to just click student here, and then also the tool. In this view, we don't have a great view of all of the events that would occur within our site. To get a better representation of the data, we also can create custom reports. To do so, we click on our reports option on the top tool menu, and then we will go ahead and just create a custom report here because these ones aren't as useful as I would like. So let's just click the add button here, and we'll wait for that to load. And now we're asked what report. Now let's look at a visits report here. So we want a period of the entire course, all dates here. Let's just select a custom user. So in this screen we can select one user. I can hold down control and select multiple students, and this will give me ability to kind of view multiple students in one report and save a little bit of time. These look good. These are just the totals by. We can also change our presentations and add a chart. I generally just do a table, and we just generate the report. Now here we see all of the visits by date and the total visits that day by a student. If we sort by our date here, we can kind of get a chronological order of what the students, which students were visiting that day. Now, this can be very useful in the situation where a student may have claimed to perhaps log in and they couldn't see a quiz, so they didn't take it, and they're going to tell you about it 2 weeks from then, or something similar to that. And I have gotten this request quite a bit. In fact, this is probably my second most common request, are instructors asking me to find out how a student is using their site and find out if they are essentially telling the truth and so forth. Now, like I said, the site statistics tool does give us a lot of data, and it can be trusted to give us accurate data. However, it's only going to record an event or a visit when the student sends that data to the server. In the instance that the student didn't submit it and just saved it because it was a work in progress, the server will also record that. However, the server won't record in the instance that the student clicked on the assignment, didn't save a draft of it, or didn't submit it and clicked out of it. So this is one caveat of the site statistics tool to watch out for. However, it is very useful for finding out, that they did in fact submit the assignment, or they saved it and maybe they just forgot to submit or accidentally clicked saved and didn't submit the assignment. The same level of data can be recorded for any of the tools within your Sakai site. For example, your tests and quizzes, we can find out, did a student actually take the assignment as they claim they did? So here we see that the student, let's sort chronologically. So we see that a student here took an assessment. That doesn't necessarily mean they submitted it, but she also submitted the assessment on the same day. So if a student says, well, I did take that, take that quiz or that test, but you are not seeing it on your end, you can look in here and see, well, it looks like you did take it. Maybe they didn't submit it correctly, maybe they forgot to, or maybe they just decided they didn't want to submit the quiz because they didn't know the answers. Who knows? But at least you have the data, and you can look back and you have a full track record of what was done within the course. Another useful tool for events report is the forums tool. And this will actually break it down fairly well and let us know if a student has read a thread, if they've created a new topic, a new thread, and if they responded to another thread. So you can just say, well, look, I don't think you're actively using the forum, or you are actively using the forum, and you have the data to show that. Now, bringing up data and how to display this, you have the ability to export any of these reports that we're creating. To do so, we do click on the export button down here, and this will give us the option to export in various formats. And if you don't have the need to parse this data within Excel later on, my favorite option is just to export as a PDF. And this will download this, and it will give me a great PDF formatted that's ready to send out to, say, a colleague or another faculty member or someone that's needing that information. Now, going back to resources, this site does not use many resources. However, it's actually a very easy way and a great way to track how students and perhaps even other instructors are opening and using these resources. So we see here, well, we can already see who has opened the most files. We can actually drill down and we can see who is opening a lot of resources and perhaps who are opening none of the resources. The last thing with our reports here, if you find yourself using a very specific report here that you've created, say we are constantly looking at our forums and our gradebook reports. Well, actually gradebook's not that useful. Let's do forums and assignments. We also have the ability to save that report. So the way we do that, we actually just select we create a title here, so my report. and a description if we wanted to, and we can save that into our list of reports here. So we will see it up on top, and we can quickly run that report as needed later on. Now that's about it for the site statistics tool. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, the TLC Tech email address at tlctech@csc.edu, or as always, stop in at the Teaching and Learning Center and talk to one of the friendly TLC techs. Thank you.